Legendary Pikachu here, and today we're playing Depression Quest, an interactive non-fiction about living with depression. So if you have like suicidal thoughts or something like that, you might not want to, watch this. Which I have thoughts like that sometimes, but you know what? I'm gonna play it anyway, because what do I have else to do in this world but sit here in a room all day? Anyway. It is early on a Monday morning. You are a mid-20s human being. Rhiannon, this is not the time. You have a partner named Alex, who you are rather fond of, that you have been seeing for the past few months. The rest of your social circle, I thought I said it wrong, consists of a variety of friends and acquaintances, some whom you met at your day job, which is a little boring, but pays the rent. You'd like to be doing more with your life, as would your parents, but you're still in the process of figuring out what that means and how to go about it. Oh. You're also dealing with motivation issues that sometimes make dealing with these things difficult. You feel like this is probably your fault, and on bad days can feel inwardly, whatever that word means, angry and down on yourself for being lazy. But you're not quite sure how you can break out of it, or how other people deal with these feelings and seem so very functional. You spend a lot of nights fixating on thinking about this, but never seem to do anything about it other than lose sleep. Oh man. Numbers. It's an unseasonably warm Wednesday evening. You spend the past several hours at work. I need to follow my words. The past week or so, you've found your job motivation flagging more so than usual. You've been in a fog practically all day today, simply going through the motions without realizing even what you've been doing half the time. And yet, time seemed to be moving at half speed. So, I just put those two words together. You are so checked out that when your boss approaches, you tell him that it's dead, and you go home early. It barely registers. As you walk home, the streets hiss from the recent rainfall. You know your partner, other will be in classes until late. Another couple hours at least. You briefly consider using this, whatever that word is, never saw that one before, solitude. A long time, yes, to catch up on that project that you've been working on, haphazardly, I swear to God, I'm saying everything wrong, for the past few months. As soon as you think the work that awaits you at home, you feel the panic creeping in from the back of your brain, unbidden. All you can think about is how incredibly far behind you are, and the amount of work seems nothing less than insurmountable. Sure, I said that wrong too, but you know what? Oh well. By the time you arrive home and change out of your uncomfortable work clothes, the stress is weighing down on you like a heavy, wet wool blanket. Your computer seems to be staring you down from your desk. You want to sit down and work, but the mere thought of trying to work sends your stress levels flying. More than anything, you feel suddenly and absolutely exhausted, and feel a strong desire to simply hide in bed. Well, you can't do one. But one wants to order some food, grab a drink, and hunker down for a night of work. But why? Yeah, 2. Sit down at your desk and try to make yourself do something. 3. Turn on the TV, tell yourself you just need a quick half hour to unwind from work. Or 4. Crawl into bed. You're so stressed and overwhelmed, you couldn't possibly accomplish anything. Anyways. What would I do? Well, knowing me, I would turn on the TV. Oh God. Just in half hour of TV, you tell yourself, absently grasping for the remote. You don't so much sit down on the couch as sink into it. You turn on the TV and start going through your usual channel routine. After a few cycles of this, you realize that you're really not doing much more than thumb moving and absolutely killing time. You check your clock and see that over 20 minutes have already passed since you sat down. As your self-imposed time limit creeps even nearer, you become more and more anxious. You stand up and walk to the fridge, telling yourself, I'll make a quick sandwich and get to work after that. Can't be productive on an empty stomach, right? As you eat, you start pantsing, around your apartment, heading past your bedroom in the process. You stop in the doorway, as if physically unable to cross the threshold. What? Threshold. Some of these words I have never seen in my whole entire life. Familiar waves of exhaustion. God, my nose. Start racking you, and you feel what? Well, y'all can read too, so there you go. Tired and panicked, you close your door and head back to the couch. It's still early. It's still early yet. Does that make sense? It's still early yet, you tell yourself. As long as I get to work in an hour, I have plenty of time to be productive. As you flip channels and let the CSI and Jeopardy I cannot read. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Jeopardy reruns wash over you. Sink deeper into the couch, feeling at once encroached upon and shielded by being quite literally swallowed up by it. As the second hour draws nearer, sure enough, you find yourself getting anxious and jittery. You repeat the fridge-paced couch process a couple more times before you look at the clock and realize that several hours have passed. And not surprisingly, you managed to get no work done. You crawl into bed, acutely aware of the fact that you have work in the morning and that any opportunity you had to catch up on your own creative endeavors today was squandered, whatever. You are feeling so disgusted with yourself that when Alex calls to talk to you on her way home from class, you simply say you had a really rough day at work and you're trying to rest up for your shift tomorrow. She says she understands and wishes you a good night, though you can't help but notice that she sounds slightly disappointed. I'm not even going to try to repeat that. The stress upsetting your partner compounds with the stress of not having gotten anything done this evening, and the stress of having to go into work tomorrow. The buzzing of depression, okay, and your brain melts together with your body's utter physical exhaustion, and you sink into a anxious funk, too tired to try and work, but too anxious to fall asleep for several hours. Well, it's a mild Friday afternoon. Alex calls you from one of her classes telling you that there's going to be a really awesome birthday party tonight at her apartment that one of her roommates is throwing. You've hung out with this roommate a few times with Alex, and you get along well enough, but aren't particularly close. You don't have work in the morning, and have nothing else in particular to do tonight. You are feeling kind of run down, but you have been fragile, most of the time lately. You mention that you're feeling ill because you're not sure how else to explain those feelings to someone else, and they say that you aren't sure that you can make it tonight. There's a second of silence over the phone, but you can swear you hear the sound of your partner's face fall. She tries to convince you anyway. You haven't seen her this week, and she sounds pretty insistent that you come over. And she drops a few worded hints that you can stay over with them tonight after the party. What do you do? Well, I would go because being around people lightens your mood up, I guess. Oh, he has a beer. Oh, got a party going on. You agree to go even though you're really not feeling social. Well, too bad. You're gonna go to that party and you're gonna have fun. You know it's important to Alex. Exactly. Do what the other partner does to be happy, no matter if it kills you. And you really like to see her. Seeing her does make you feel better sometimes, and you hope that this is the case tonight, even if it does mean dealing with all the usual social anxiety. How long have we been doing this? Well, guys, see you in the next video. Woo!